Steve Petersky, North County Pipeline here. Just wishing you a happy Sunday and happy March Madness, and just recapping some of what happened last week. Starting with today, we're going to jump in a little bit about the state roundup I just wrote about, featuring two big items going on up in Sacramento. One being gas price increases with fees from the California Air Resources Board, known as CARB, and then also the Medi-Cal program, which is in financial dire straits. And so, with to start off with the gas prices, that all came about last year with a ruling and a decision from CARB, the board there approving a new policy under its low carbon fuel standard program. And what that program does is it tries to incentivize companies to create and develop and deploy cleaner fuels for emissions, so the state can meet its aggressive and ambitious goals. However, that comes with the price for drivers, right? And so the estimate was about 65 cents from a University of Pennsylvania study. And so on Wednesday, Senator Brian Jones from San Diego had submitted a bill that had made it to the Environment Committee, which promptly died. The vote was 3-2. So 3 were against the repeal. 2 were, or actually, I should say, I'm sorry. 3 were for the repeal, 2 were against it, and 2 abstained. And one of the legislators voting no is Steve Padilla from San Diego, and another one, Catherine Blakespear from Encinitas. So our representative for coastal North County, and it's become a big battle. In a political lightning rod for sure. The decision was put on hold by the Office of Administrative Law, but basically CARB just has 120 days to come back and resubmit its policy, clean up some language, and then it's likely to be enacted. And so, of course, a lot of on the Republican side. And although the vote was, and I'll come back to that real quick, but the vote was, there was one Democrat who voted with the 2 other Republicans to repeal it. That was Melissa Hurtado of Fresno. But, that's the big battle. It's cost of living, and, gas prices increase definitely impact that in a major way. So, home prices aren't coming down. Food prices are kind of stabilizing as what they are, but cost of living still remains very expensive in most of California. So a 65% increase, could have a lasting impact, a negative impact, really on a lot of people. So that's a battle. But then there's also the concerns from environmentalists and Senate Democrats and the Assembly Democrats, really, to try to cut out as much emissions as possible to meet these goals by 2035 and 2040, et cetera. And so gas prices, one thing that they're trying to do is push people into transit, buses, things of that nature, electric vehicles. And so we'll see how this all plays out in the coming weeks. Another little interesting note on the gas story is Phillips 66, which had already announced last year, but did announce that its target date will close in October, its LA refinery. And so that's 8.5% of the state's total refining capacity. So I would expect another increase in gas prices right there too, once that thing shuts down. So the state, it's just kind of simple economics with it, right? The demand's going to remain the same, or close to it, but the capacity is not going to be there. And it'll also have impacts on our neighbors in Nevada and Arizona as well, because they receive about at least 50% of their fuel from California via pipelines. And they've already, their governors have already sent letters to Gavin Newsom to stop this. He obviously did not heed their advice and move forward with it. So it'll be an interesting, year, I guess, with how the gas prices come down, and whether or not we'll get any relief at the pump, or if these prices will continue to rise. So something to look out for going forward. And also, like I mentioned, Medi-Cal, that's on fire right now. It's basically the state had to shell out another $6.2 billion to keep it funded through the year, and there was some varying factors for it. So a lot of the Republicans hammering on how the program has opened up to free healthcare for illegal or undocumented immigrants, costing about $9.5 billion a year. And the state underestimated how many immigrants are actually registered for the program, and so that's one. Those are a couple of reasons. Others, state officials have said that pharmacy costs have increased, as well as higher enrollment from citizens and residents of California as well. So uh, that's another one that's just on fire. There's other states. Newsom had said other states have had issues as well, but here that one is really taking a hit because the general fund is having to supplement those revenues, and then of course towering over the state's Medi-Cal problems is the potential of an $880 billion cut to Medicaid at the federal level, and so that would be about that 880 billion would be spread over, I think it's 10 years. And so it'll be about $10 to $20 billion hit for California each of those years. So significant cuts for sure, and not a lot of consensus on how to repair this and how to fix it and make it a solvent, thrivable program. So we'll see what the state can come up with in the coming weeks and months before the session ends in late August, early September. So something to definitely keep an eye out for sure. Locally, a lot's kind of going down in Leucadia and Encinitas. A couple major road projects potentially on the horizon going to be funded. So a lot of residents in those areas have been screaming about some much needed improvements along La Costa and Vulcan Avenues. So obviously when you go east on La Costa from I-5, it's 2 lanes. They added a stop sign, which practically no one stops at. And then they restriped it to include a bike lane and then also a walking path on the street. But that's where the residents say it's very, very dangerous. Nobody wants to walk on the street. They need a sidewalk. So they've cleared some of the brush. We're told this by the city to stop the clearing because of liability issues. But there is a little, maybe a foot or so wide, 2 foot wide walking path that they're using. So the city council is going to address that. They want to try to move that up in the queue and recognize the issue, because people are also flying up and down that stretch of road from the 5 to Coast Highway at about an average speed of 40 miles an hour on the 30-mile-an-hour road. So some of the residents feeling maybe some other tools can be kind of deployed in the meantime, raise speed bumps, speed humps or speed bumps and whatever. Just other things, maybe narrowing them lanes a little bbit to force people to drive a little bit slower as well. So, and then along Vulcan, on the west side of Vulcan, which is about 50 feet or so from the railroad tracks, maybe a little bit more. There's no walking path, no bike path, nothing. It's just kind of an area. There's some parking there for cars. So all these, with all these apartments and homes across the street, there is some street parking, but no formalized thing. So the city is going to move into the design phase and funding phase for the sidewalk bike path project, which is going to extend from basically La Costa Avenue all the way to Encinitas Boulevard for about $2.1 million. So that's much needed for them over there. And then hopefully they can also maybe tackle some of the drainage issues over on Vulcan as well. So yeah, always lots going on in Encinitas for sure. And then moving over to kind of more east, San Marcos, big news for the city of San Marcos. Scripps finally pulled the trigger and is going to drop $1.2 billion on two new healthcare facilities right by basically North City, so right off the 78 and Twin Oaks Valley Road. One's going to be an outpatient center. The other one's going to be an acute care hospital. So the city's pretty fired up about that. Mayor Rebecca Jones, Councilman Mike Sanella, kind of beating their chests this week and citing how San Marcos has become the hub of healthcare in North County. And with North City and the development there are some more healthcare facilities and providers and that little industry cluster there, kind of building that out. So they're probably not too far off the mark on that case. In that case, but yeah, it's a big win for the city and a big win for North County, and get another hospital out here and something that's going to be state of the art. So it'll take a couple of years for that to be developed and constructed and finally open, but it's going to be much needed and a big win again for the city of San Marcos. Also, Supervisor Jim Desmond, officially kicked off his congressional run campaign. Last week, he's going to be challenging Mike Levin for the 49th congressional seat here. So that's basically northern or southern Orange County, and then coastal North County and Vista. And so that should be an interesting race. The Republicans are fired up on Jim. They think he provides a significant challenge to Levin based on his name recognition in North County. And if you look at the breakdown of votes, typically Levin pulls away in North County and doesn't do as well in Orange County. So, the Republicans are hoping that Desmond can make up that gap of about 4 or 5 points, maybe about 7,000 to 10,000 votes or so, and flip that seat back to the Republicans. So this should be, a hard-fought race. It's going to be an expensive one too. The estimations of $10 to $20 million for that race. So, a lot of money going to be flowing through North County and or Southern Orange County as well for that race. So it'll be really interesting. Levin, he's been on kind of, middle of the road type of guy, and he's gotten a lot of money to his district, over $1 billion since he's been in office since 2018. So, that's nothing to shake your head at. It's been a lot of projects been able to be funded through the money that Levin's gotten from been allocated from Congress. So tough race. Should be an interesting, and if you're a fan of politics, that'll be an entertaining one for sure. And then finally, probably one really cool thing that's kicking off on April 1st is get out to Escondido for their Art, Culture, and Creativity Month. The city and Downtown Business Association and Escondido Art Association and every artist if possible, galleries and things of that nature are coming together to have a month-long celebration of arts, creativity, and culture. The program was established by the state in 2019, and last year the Escondido Public Art Commission decided to embrace that and say, hey, let's do something really cool and let's blow out a whole month of arts. And so April was the dedicated month through the state, so they just figured, okay, we'll just keep it there and do all that. And so on April 1st, they're going to have a big kickoff over at Heritage Garden, music, art, all the fun stuff, food and drink that you can handle. And then on May 5th, Mayor Dane White, he's kicking off his Mayor's Artist Contest. So there'll be cash prizes for winners. The winners will also be displayed at City Hall. And then the galleries will be, throughout the month, galleries will be opening, showing various artists. There'll be mural tours. The Center for the Arts is going to be blowing out a bunch of stuff as well. Have a bunch of events. A lot of it is free, and that's kind of was the point, is to drive people to Escondido and get people out that live in Escondido to come to go check out these events. So be sure to check that out. There's a week long of one for photography studio or collective is doing a week's worth of photography events. So that one is going to be really cool, and it's going to be highlighted by a local North County skateboarding art photographer who's going to do an outdoor display. So that should be really cool. Be sure to check that out. So you can find that out at City of Escondido's website, or Visit Escondido will have a lot of those listed as well, and some of those other art associations. And then if you are interested in participating, there's still spots available. So hit up Carol Rogers. She's the chair of the Public Art Commission, or somebody at the city, and they'll point you in the right direction. You pretty much would have to make it, any event or something you did for free. So to just fall in line kind of with what they're trying to do over there. So it's gonna be a really cool event. I'm looking forward to it. And so hopefully many of you can get out there as well during April and go check out what they got going on over in Escondido. So that's kind of it for this week. So I just wanted to say thanks for reading and subscribing as always, and enjoy the rest of your week. And March Madness, of course, if you'll catch me in front of a TV, I'm starting next Thursday and today. But yes, enjoy the rest of your week. And again, thanks for subscribing.